Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS here with some more adventures in locksmithing. This time, kind of have a unique one. So we get all sorts of crazy calls, but this one, lady mentioned that she had a lock that wasn't working, that she had a lock guy out there, and he had installed it wrong. She knows she installed it wrong because two friends of hers who were men had come out and taken a look at it, and while they didn't have what they needed to fix it, they could both tell, despite not being locksmiths, that it was installed wrong. So, and I was currently on a job, and this was going to be in between that job and the next job. So even though it was out in the country, it was right in line with my travel. I thought, you know what? This lady's not going to be able to make any sense. She was kind of older. I thought, she's not going to be able to send me pictures. I'm just going to drive by there. And so I told her I would do that. And she says, and then she started giving me instructions so that I wouldn't find it. And these were actually helpful. A lot of times when people do that, I'm like, you know, the map program will get me there. Well, she's down a dirt road, by a canal, all this kind of stuff. So it was good in the instructions. And then she says, and when you get to the gate, call me, because I'm going to be up in the treehouse and I might not notice you. So call me and say, what, the treehouse? Huh? Oh, my house is a treehouse. So now I'm nervous. In fact, I had messaged some of my friends and said, you know, pray for me because I'm thinking treehouse. Maybe this is some squatter trying to rig up a lock on some kid's abandoned treehouse, built themselves a little fort in the tree. I mean, we've evicted people out of just about everything, so somebody squatting in a tree does not surprise me. Or I'm just envisioning all sorts of makeshift things that I don't want to deal with. Now I get out there, and I will say treehouse is probably not the right description. I would call this one of those seaside pier houses. You know, the kind that are designed so that the tide can come in, and they have almost a story worth of piers below them. And that's what this is. But it's surrounded by trees, and it's out in the country. So by that measure, it's a tree house, but they built it that way so that it was higher than the levee. So that if the levee went, the house wouldn't flood. Now, seeing as it's surrounded by trees and brush and all that, I think the levee would take that house out. But, you know, they're in a flood zone, and that was one way to deal with it. Now, what's interesting is she had a brick, what looked like a giant chimney. It was an elevator room, done surrounded by brick. And what she needed a key for, the lock she was talking about, this regular lock that she was talking about, because I asked her if it was a knob or what it was, and she says it's just a regular lock. It's a little electric switch box that opens the elevator door. So you like turn it and then the elevator, you know, goes like the little cage door goes so that you can get in the elevator. Type thing. And this got me. It's like, okay, this is not what I expected. Now the problem was on the back side of that little lock. It was done into a round hole, and it's what they call the double D lock. So it's got two curved sides and two straight sides. And you're supposed to be able to put the lock in the hole. It doesn't spin, except they just drilled a complete circle out. And you could see on the inside there was a notch spot for an inside guard piece. So like a plate with that double D stamp to go on that would have a notch that would slip in that other notch. But that piece was missing. And so they got it tightened down with a locking nut, but what's happening is over time, it comes loose. And then she's able to accidentally partly tune it, and I saw that the wires were a little frayed, so when the lock starts twisting around, the wires touch, and that causes a fault that won't let the elevator activate from upstairs, because they won't let you go down the elevator if you can't get out the bottom side. I was able to fix it temporarily, and that's what I let her know. I said, because I tried to use my double D stamp, but whatever brand this elevator company used, it was a little off. So all I was able to do was tighten it down so it was back good and fixed the frayed wires. But I told her, this is going to happen again. I got it real tight, it's real good. You'll probably go 6 months, a year before it happens, but it's going to happen again. And as such, and since I was already kind of on my way, I chose not to charge her. Now, the elevator company had come out and charged her $1,200 to do the exact same thing I did. But she got somebody from like 3-hour drive away. She should have got a more local company. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those funny things. And talking to her, she was a real fun, nice older lady. And she was like, you know, I don't know why there's no elevator. I really thought that this trend would catch on. You know, all the old people, you would think that they would be saving their legs and their knees getting elevators. Like, that's an expensive thing to get. Most ones, if they do that, they just get the lift that kind of slides up and down the stairs, the chairlift. They don't go out and get a full-blown elevator installed in their house. But, you know, this lady had a really nice place and it was kind of unique. So, had a good experience. She was really happy with that and then gave me a 5-star review. Even though technically I only did a temporary fix. But I kind of pointed her in the right direction of here's some more local people that you should be looking at to do that, because I'm not really qualified to install electrical stuff to an elevator. I don't want any of that liability. So I didn't want to buy something different and put it on. But that's just kind of one of the most unique things that I've had, is make a key for a treehouse elevator. Yeah, that's a real sentence. Anyways, I'm having a unique day. Hope everybody else is having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video.